8 tables of NL50 up and running tonight. Should be able to put in a pretty decent stream. I think we'll just get out of the way here. Multi-way. We're just going to c-bet. No 3-bets pre up here in the top right. I guess you can't see that hand, but yeah, we won't talk too much about it then. But anyways, we have 8 tables of NL50 up. Current bankroll is up over 2,500 now. Uh, Running pretty decent tonight so far. Up a little bit. We were up probably a buy-in, but we've lost the last few hands. We do get 2 callers. We do improve. I think we'll just check on the jack. Libby does jam. Probably have to call. It does have just turns the straight anyways. Okay. Just because he can have so many like just flush draws, 9x, those types of hands. But yeah, he just turns the straight. There's not much we can do there, given pot size and what our hand is, especially on the turn there. With the redraw. Okay, set of nines, Tenchi. How do you play that? Let's check this out quick. Out of position, check calls, check raises, turn on it, jams river. Okay. Fold the ace four suited to the 4x open. And we'll 3-bet the ace five suited. It's been a little bit since our last stream. So we'll see how things go today. Hopefully we can put in a decent one. We'll kind of let things play out, see how that all goes. We are up on Twitch. We are up on YouTube as well. Can we check back flop? We're going to value bet turn. It's a lot of dead money. We're just going to stab at it here with the king queen. Value bet here. We're really only like basically worried about Tenji. He gets out of the way, so we're most likely up against like some suited connectors or pocket pair type hands, uh, given the way this hand has played out. Pink Hippo every once in a while will probably show up with a decent hand. If you were to re-raise there, like every once in a while, very unlikely, but you will when it goes like bet call. Um, every once in a while, we'll end up in there. We're just gonna stick the money in here now. Unfortunately, we're probably up against pocket eights or pocket fives. Uh, okay. Just sort of the most likely scenario when he re-raises there. It's usually a value bet. Could be a ace queen, maybe without the ace of spades when he tanks that long or something like that. Very strange to see a fold there. Could argue maybe just calling there is best and let him continue to bluff if he just had like the bare ace of spades or something. Okay, check here. Okay, and we'll check the jack nine. Okay, looks like stream should be up and running here very shortly. We are live over on Twitch. Raise the a7 suited, fold the king five. Sorry about the delay there. We're just trying to get everything up and running again. Okay, stream looks good on Twitch, and it's not up yet on YouTube, so hopefully it'll be up there sooner than later. We don't run into these weird scenarios where YouTube is not working, but Twitch is, or something like that. I think YouTube is just on a slightly longer delay, like 20 or 30-second delay or something. I'm going to value bet the 7 here. You got to assume the queen would have value bet by now. So we're going to get called by a lot of worse pocket pairs, 7x, ace high, all that kind of stuff at some frequency. Okay, we'll bump the 9 deuce suited. Gonna, I think I check back this flop. We will double barrel here. That looks like the YouTube stream should be up now. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I was just on the wrong setting, so here we go. All right, we do stab. We're just gonna let that go. Okay. And value bet river. Well, the ace 7 suited. Okay, so we are live on Twitch and we are live up on YouTube. Boost concede leads out. We're just gonna let this go. He will give his money away. We just kind of got to get there. Call the king pre-suited. You don't do a lot of three betting with like the suited queens or kings and stuff. They're just a relatively good hand in comparison to small blind opening range, especially being in position. Checks to us. We're going to value bet here with the king 3. Just overall makes the hand a little bit easier to play. Lets us check down rivers significantly more often. And we do get value out of like, some ace highs and stuff like that. And we'll just check down. To each their own, I suppose. Okay, Vito calls out of from under the gun. And we take it down. And we're gonna three bet the king queen off. Guy's okay. Guy's really short there. Not exactly a great spot to three bet, but king queen off's probably fine. Just the way when we're three betting there and he shoves with 40 bigs, you pretty much just have to call the king queen, especially when he can have like ace 10, ace jack, pocket tens, pocket jack, nines, stuff like that. And we do three bet the ace 9 off as well. Okay, checks back. We're gonna check one more time. Give him a chance to start bluffing at this. Okay, does bet. And we'll call. And we'll be check calling river as well. We lose to pocket jacks now. Ace jack usually bets flop. He'll check back some portion of the time, but we go half pot flop. No, there's value bet bigger here against this guy. Okay. And block bet river. Fold to a shove some portions of the time. That's interesting. Nice. Fucking chop it. Come on. Well, obviously we get it in here. They seem suited. Fold king jack. Okay, so we checked to him for the purpose of letting him bluff. Honestly, this overbet from a relatively nitty player. Kind of believe it. It just feels like pocket jacks. I just don't like. Come, let me win a hand here. I just don't know if this villain is ever bluffing here. Once we check call turn, it's well played if he is. It's a good like big river bet. Like we should be calling here. It's just like sort of like an exploitive fold because villains just don't overbet bluff like ever. They also don't know enough to check back like their value hands, like weaker value hands. So then they maybe start over bluffing a bit, like with stabs and stuff. And we just fold 7-3, obviously, in a limped pot. Okay. We'll just put this guy all in with the ace king suited. And we're gonna happily show down the fives here. What is with this queens? Okay, raise the ace king. 3-bet the king jack off. And given board texture, we're just gonna jam ace king here. 6-8, 8-9, 7-8, stuff like that, like ace queen, ace jack. They're all in his range. Do lose to 6 and 7 9 some portion of the time. But now that he's tanked, we pretty much just have the best hand. Pretty much for sure. A lot of this will be like, does he call with ace queen or ace jack most of the time? Okay, raise the ace 10 suited, fold the 5-3 suited, and the 10 deuce off. I wonder what he has. This guy actually has the fucking nuts. Are you kidding me? Well, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of those nights, um, potentially. Okay, fold the 10-8 suited, fold the fours, fold the 9 deuce, fold the 6 deuce off. This is the stuff that will like tilt you to no end. Uh, now we want 0.6 of a big blind. Just against like these villains who are playing 90% of hands and the money just goes in and then they well 2 or 3 out you, but obviously they happen. That's why he's a fish. That's why you make a ton of money off of those villains. So gotta try to push through it a little bit. Okay, and we'll raise the tens. Calls pre, then double leads flop is a very weird line. And then checking. I actually don't think there's a lot of value in betting here because if we do bet and get called, it's going to be like Jack 10 or something. His most likely range is going to be like 7-8 Jack Queen flush draws that went bet, like donk lead bet. I don't think he's ever doing this with like 10 nines, jacks plus after just calling pre-flop. He's getting super weird. Okay, so that's one way to play it. Raise the 6-7 suited. And I think we'll just 4-bet the ace 4 suited and fold to a shove. Okay, not a great board for us. We're just going to check back and get out of the way. Once he calls the 4-bet, ace queen, king queen suited, jack queen, jack like jack 10, king 10, queen 10, queen jack suited, queen 9 suited, pocket nines, pocket jacks. Those are all in his range there. So we don't have much. We beat ace king. That's it. That's generally just going to ship it in. Fold the 10 6, raise the king 10 suited. Raise the ace 10 off. Bump king queen off. So for you guys watching on YouTube, we also have the Twitch channel up and running. So if you are not following over there, make sure you go check that out. Feel free to chat, especially if we are playing together. Feel free to throw that out there. Fold queen three. Multi-way, we're just gonna get out of the way. Bump the king queen off. Bump the ace three suited. Canadian Mega with 4-bet. We'll let that go. Check back to king queen and then go bet. C-bet here with ace three. Okay. It's always a good sign to get check raised here. Let's call. Obviously never folding. The plan is basically when he goes 2x pot, it's actually a little bit suspect that he could have a jack here, but we can't obviously fold with the king. We can just call. Um, Definitely looking like one of those nights. Another 56 VPIP thinker. And if booster C bets, we're gonna shove. There's definitely a world where he just calls like Jack X. Shove. Ace 10 will just check back now. He does end up folding. So, one, he's full of bluffs in those spots, and two, he has a lot of Jack X, and he's going to end up calling that at least a decent portion of the time. Okay, fold the 10-4. Okay, we'll fold the 6-5, fold the 7 deuce. Okay. And fold the ace 6 and the queen deuce offsuit. Fold the ace deuce. Fold 7-4, fold the 9 deuce. Fold. We'll float in with queen six suited. We do a lot more squeezing in those spots, but we'll definitely float in. And we're gonna go for. Oh, I was in position there. My bad. So I misread here on table 3. We're gonna bet here. I actually thought we were gonna be able to check raise this board. 8, 9, 9, 10. We're blocking both of those, and we have a bunch of back doors. So great spot to check raise. Puts villains in like a terrible spot, even when they have like ace king pocket aces. Here, veto Donklead. We were going to Donklead if he did not. Geo raises. Okay, we're going to go big here with the ace queen suited. So we're basically flipping against everything except like ace king hearts. So this is just going to go like jam. It puts him in a really gross spot when he has like pocket aces. Or queens. Like basically, he's hoping to be flipping when he calls there, uh, which is fine. He's going to call there most often. But yeah, the money just has to win. Okay, we win the first run out. We're looking for a 5 or another heart. Bang. All right, blasted both those off. Stack a Rooney. Call here. Baseball rolls off, then they check. Um, I guess we just check back. Not a ton of value to be had here. Kind of super crazy check back there. Guess he's looking for bluffs out of like diamonds and spades. Makes sense, actually. Okay, check the queen, and we'll fold the 10-6 off. And we're going to value bet the queen here. So far, so good. I think pretty well playing around 13 BBs per 100, give or take. Sorry about that. We're back. Once he checks back, we are going to go bet bet. And value bet. Or sorry, not value bet. We are going to bluff river here once he checks back flop. Fold to a raise, obviously, like 6-7 probably fold some portion of the time here. 9x is just going to jam. Other like ace x hands just fold. Ace queen, ace jack, ace 10. Okay, move 3 with the ace queen. Okay, we're gonna call here with king jack suited against. It's actually a bad call. Booster's playing so many hands and calling so wide. He calls all like his suited kings, suited jacks and stuff. Calling here just like basically creates an opportunity for us to have to check fold, essentially. Okay, value bet the 8. And we're still gonna value bet here. The king's not gonna change a whole lot. I'm just gonna take a quick break and I will be right back. We are top rates drop to three-handed. We might flip off that table, not that you guys can see it really anyways. Okay, I'm gonna blast again here with the king queen. We do have the gutter ball to the partial nizzles. Once he calls there, we're just done though. Twisted Seed just bombs pot. We do three bet the queens here. 130 bigs deep. If he shoves, we can definitely fold some portion of the time because he's not doing it with tens and jacks is the issue. Okay. Once he calls here, it's significantly more likely. Okay, that's interesting. Money. I mean, if he slow played aces with a 65% VPIP, have at it. But yeah, we're just gonna put the money in. Ace six offsuit. Okay. No ace, no three, no five, no heart. 10 is good. Okay, we're just dodging the river ace. Beautiful thing. Okay. And we will raise the ace deuce suited. The board's relatively wet, relatively dry. Could probably get away with just going small given it's multi-way. We do check flop. Spades come in on the turn. We are going to bet now for value. Just lets it go. It's going to be hard to compete with the Blue Jays game tonight. That's for sure. So stream's going to be definitely relatively quiet, I would imagine, because of that. Okay, fold the 90 suited here. Definitely defend here. Okay, check back. We just lose to king eight versus queen eight. Raise the jacks. Okay. Meg Allen three bets. There's not really any bad turn cards for us, only a couple. So I'm gonna check back with top two and the ace of spades, and then try to get some value on river. The real reality is here, if this Meg Allen is just blasting, he probably has overpairs, and they're probably better than Jack X. Wow. That's interesting. I guess I fold. Didn't expect to lose this hand. Not gonna lie. Okay. Check the ace of four. It's got fold the 8-4, raise the 5-4 suited, fold, queen 7. I'm gonna leave this heads up table. I'm just not paying enough attention to it. And even against the fish, if you're not paying enough attention, you're just gonna end up like mass overfolding. So we're just gonna get out of the way there. All right. Yeah, we'll just check down these six here. You just lose to too much, like 9x and stuff like that. He'll fold the ace-3. I do appreciate everybody who is checking out the stream on Twitch, on YouTube. Feel free to chat, say what's up. We're trying to grind out a 100K bankroll. We have smashed through these stakes a few times, going from like 100 to 10K, 500 to 20K, you know what I mean, 100 to 55K, like that kind of stuff. So hopefully this is just the one that sticks and we can run this bankroll to the top. Okay, check that. Fold the 8 deuce. Fold the jack 6. Fold the 8-7. When the four cards to the flush come in, we're just gonna let the hand go. See how long the stream lasts. It is looking pretty dead tonight. Friday nights are usually that way. Um, Especially tonight with the World Series game one, I think. Uh, Fold the jack deuce. Okay, and we'll bump up the fours as well here. 6-7 suited will just call, play a flop multi-way. Um, Not a bad spot to squeeze either. We're just gonna go small here, make it look like we're stabbing. And we're gonna four bet the jacks in the bottom right. Pig Campo raises us after calling, just cold calling pre. So we four bet, less be calls. I don't think villains like flat aces enough. So we're gonna actually jam the pocket jacks here. It looks a lot like ace king. So you're gonna get a lot of like king 10, jack 10 suited, queen 10 suited, ace 10 suited type hands to call there. Nine's a pretty clean card. We'll check to him. Every once in a while, you run into sixes and deuces um, in an ISO raised spot. 3-5, pretty unlikely. Think I'm just going to go for the check shove here. Sevens, eights, pocket tens, pocket jacks. Those are big portions of his range. The villains just like don't squeeze enough. Okay, definitely calling here with the flush draw and top pair. Ooh, that's interesting. And a call. Hmm. 60, 120. Feels like we're likely just up against the set. Oh, that is a good spot here. All right, how'd this hand play out? So poker GG, limp call. So limp, we ISO to four. They both call. We're definitely taking our 30 seconds here. So they both call like limp call pre, over limp, and then limp pre. Chuck leads flop, we call, they call. Leads turn, we call. He shoves, he calls. Oh man. Ugh. Ugh. I don't even know. I actually don't know. I feel like top pair plus flush draw can't be like a terrible call, but I also feel like we're just gonna be up against sets like a ton here. I think we fold. Set, jacks. Okay. So we were just basically we needed a club. Or yeah, club. We had to have a club to win. Okay. Check, check, fold, call. We're gonna lead here on the 4-4-5. I'm gonna call here. Okay, make two pair. If he has the flush, so be it. We are just gonna call off. Oh wow. He probably had the flush when he's going pot pot or seven high. We do lead here bottom left. It's just too likely villains have something. Sorry about that. We just got a couple chats off stream coming in. All right, back to her here. The pocket fours. We'll just let them go. We'll raise the ace eight. Sorry, seven suited. Pocket sevens here. Um, I think we're just gonna float in. I don't really see Sir Poker GG like folding to a squeeze often enough to make it profitable. Most likely scenario, it goes like fold, call, call, and then it just doesn't play out very well for us. But given he's such a huge whale, it is going to be profitable to just kind of float in and see the flop and kind of play over there. Pocket aces here. So we did take a shot at a 500 the other day. We played one hand. Got dealt in the big blind, under the gun raised, middle position called. We squeezed with pocket queens, under the gun shoved for 100 bigs. We called. He had ace king. He had an ace on the flop. We lost. So didn't go super successfully. Okay, we're gonna raise the king jack off. We're definitely check calling the aces here. Let's raise, yeah, yeah. It is a board that's really good for him. Obviously, oh wow, jacks. So much value missed. But it's just one of those boards, right? No three bet from him is crazy. Uh, wow. Fold jack deuce. And we'll fold the king four. No nuts, no glory. Hey, what's up, dude? Good luck today. I'm the dude, tons of nuts that made that crazy call king on off on the. Oh yeah, that was crazy call, bro. Nice call. Uh, that crazy call with king nine off on four diamond board with nine of diamonds. And what was I thinking? I don't know. Apparently, I thought you were capable of bluffing there. So, well, I was, and you called me off. So good play. You checked my profile. Uh, checked my profile. Instantly said he's a turning net, and yes, you are very correct. It's funny. Yeah, GG's man. It was a good call for sure. Um, most villains would not have made it. It definitely tilted me a little bit, but it's a good call. It was a good call for sure. Check 9-3 off. Appreciate you watching the stream, bro. Um, we also are over on YouTube. Pretty much the same nickname, just underestimated poker. You can check it out and go. I used to play a lot of tournaments back in the day, but I just don't have the time anymore, unfortunately, because I did always enjoy them. Um, I was always able to grind a lot longer playing tournaments than I was like cash games. I always found like after 3 or 4 hours of cash games, you kind of I would burn out like online, but tournaments I could sit down and play like 12 hours um, and kind of roll with it. But these days, it's not even like feasible with family life and work and all that kind of stuff. Like it's just not possible. If I was playing professionally, you could probably get to it, and it sounds like WTP or WPT Gold um, is going to be coming to Canada, like full blown Canada, and Ontario included, everything but Quebec with their sweepstakes stuff. Um, so that'll actually be like super exciting. So you'll kind of have tournaments and games running all day long, right? So it'll actually open the field up to I think a lot more people who are interested in actually playing tournaments. We do end up getting kings in versus jacks here, so that's a good spot. And we will defend the ace nine suited. He hits a jack. We river a king, but what did we get on the second board? 9-10. Oh, jack queen. Okay. He didn't make a straight. I thought he made a straight there. And we just weren't paying attention here, so I did end up letting that go. And we're gonna three bet the king queen off. Okay, we're gonna three bet the king, ace king offsuit. So we three bet, he calls. He leads flop, which is weird. Turn goes check check, and then he pots river, which is a weird design. Probably gonna call here. Might fold. I'm gonna call. Nice. Seemed really strange. I think he follows the channel. Sometimes I find like when you get the guys who are Rex and they're actually watching the stream, they're just like they want to put all the crazy money in and like run a big bluff on you or call off like really crazily and turn a really good hand. Check here. And we get to snap the kings off against queens. That's unfortunate for him. Bit of some run bad here. Yeah, we'll definitely run it twice for sure, man. And we'll call the kings here. What? What is that? Okay, we hold first run. Second run's looking relatively clean. Oh, get out of town. Two outer on the river. Come on now. Missed a bet here with jacks. We do call with the kings. Should have that stacked. We do call with kings again here. We're not going to be folding against this villain. Oh man, what are these? What are these runouts, teams? What are these runouts? Not cool, bros. Not cool. We are going to bet here with the 10-7 suited. No Nuts, No Glory. I heard about this. I'm very excited to play bigger games. Yeah, it looks pretty dope actually. I signed up last year with Pat, like Egyptian there. And it was supposed to come out on the 22nd, but then there was some whatever the delays were that kind of postponed that a little bit. But it sounds like it's like imminent, like any day now to sign up. I think Code Doug has some pretty good promos. Code Doug there, Doug Polt. So he's probably a good person to sign up under. I think I have a promo code too. Like I gotta find it so I can post that too. Because a lot of people do check out Ontario, and I think there's a lot of people who are gonna want to get into that WPT Gold because of that. The payouts are massive. Like even like through Pat, anybody who signed up, I think through Pat, or sorry, through Egyptian, he has like a huge free roll running. Uh, like not huge, but it's 20K free roll. I mean, for anybody playing tournaments in Ontario, that's pretty huge. Right now, I'm just being in the Friday, and then the Friday night. Um, yeah, there's not a lot of tourneys that ranked sixth in coasting. Nice. Yeah, good luck, man. That's a good turn. The 25, especially in the winter when they have like the Winter Classic and when the WSOP is running, like that $25 and the $50 buy-in um, are like crazy value. Uh, for an Ontario tournament, anyways. Um, I do miss the days. Like I used to play way back. I was off. Like I took probably 8 years off or 6 years off poker. I didn't play forever, but I used to play back way back when in the full tilt poker era when it started, and poker was a crazy scene back then. It was people were getting like houses in Vegas, and you were just five six guys chilling in Vegas playing poker 24/7. Everybody was renting out houses. Party poker, or sorry, Poker Stars was throwing parties. Full Tilt Poker was throwing parties. You could win access to the parties. You could buy access to the parties. You could be given it. Stuff was crazy. I remember that. And then I was like 23, and I woke up one day, and the FBI had like seized all of Full Tilt's assets and everybody's bankrolls and shit. It was crazy. That was a fun time, though. It was a good time. Okay, we're gonna three bet the ace 10 suited, full to 5-4, full to jack 4. And we're going to be three betting the pocket aces, 177 big blinds deep. And I'm just going to stab jack high here. I don't think we win often enough. I can't really not stab this. Okay, now we got to go bigger here on the king. Wow, that is weird. What do you have? Pocket queens? Queen king suited? Strange line. He's never bluffing here though, so we just fold, but it's a very strange line. What is going on here? Click the button. Okay, fold jack 3 suited, 10-8, 5-4. Okay, about the 4-3 suited, and we're gonna ISO the 5-4 suited. Booster C. We'll throw out a three bet here. Keep things light against him and loose. Easiest way to stack him. Should have already had him once, but he got lucky on the river with the big two-rounder. I don't even know how to play against this guy because all he does is just blast. You almost want to call down here with the deuce. We are going to defend against the donk lead here with ace eight. Against another pot bet, we'll let it go. It's just the reality is villains aren't aggressive enough, like especially on Ontario poker. No nuts, no glory. Yes, a free roll. I played the full zero too. Yeah, it was a great time. It was crazy. I remember like I used to just be like I was like 20 years old in college, give or take. 19. Fuck, what was I even? I was 17 when I went to college actually. So Jesus Christ. So I would have been 18. I was 17 and I turned 18 with a couple months and I think I won. It was like a 13,000 person free roll or something on Hardy Poker and won like nothing. Like it was like a free roll. It was like 80 bucks that I won, but then I turned that 80 bucks into, which is insane. Between Party Poker and Full Tilt Poker, I turned that 80 into like $40,000 over like 3 years, which was great at the time. And kind of just didn't stop from there. King High's going to win enough here, so we'll show that down. And we're just going to c bet here with the Queen 10. And we're going to overbet here when villain checks back flop. Nice. Yeah, Full Tilt was great. Full Tilt probably had the best software going at the time, and arguably even still it also had like that aura about it. You had like Tom Dwan and you had all those guys just like rushing stakes and stuff there. We're just not gonna fold to this villain, so I'm just gonna jam 2x pot here. If he has an eight, he has an eight. It's just kind of is what it is. Terrible call with 9-7. Terrible call with 9-7. There's not really any real world where we're bluffing there. We will run it twice. Hopefully we can win. We are going to call here as well. Nice. So we do hold here with the kings. We stack hand to per. Ace king, we three bet. He checks. We're just going to see bet here. We both had a jack here in the bottom right, so we chop chop. Yeah, full tilt poker, like that whole scene was a wild era for sure. Um, just like with online poker kind of coming out, people starting to really pick up and play it, and there's just a lot going on. Okay, I gotta edit the YouTube tags here. Try to get something going over on YouTube. The 10-8 fold, fold, fold. 8-6 off, we timed out, but we're just folding anyways. Fold the king 8. And here we're going to value bet the 10-8 off and a limp to pot. Okay, bump the king 8, 10-8. So he limps in. We bet he calls. If hearts come in, we're just going to check call here. Oh, I got to run for a minute. I will be back. We're just going to shut these tables off and then we'll be right back. Might be 10, 15 minutes, but we're just going to leave the stream running and then we'll be back. Okay, everybody, we're back. I'm just eating a little snack here. Ended up losing our tables, but we're gonna rejoin a bunch of seats here. It was only like 6 minutes or something like that, so we'll have all of our stacks back. Won't be too long. Yeah, man, it's possible. It's definitely possible. It was a wild, like 10K plus free roll. I don't even know how many years ago now. Long, a long, long, long time ago, which is crazy. Um, but yeah, it was so many people. At one point, I was just like open shoving, and I just ran hot, and then I started to play again when there was like the final 100. And then I got heads up. I like called down three barrels with like second pair and ended up stacking the guy, and that was that. But yeah, party poker was good back in the day, full tilt. Then Poker Stars just kind of took over everything with that Supernova elite stuff, and then that was kind of that. But yeah, it was definitely a fun time for sure to be like part of that compared to like a lot of the stuff that you get nowadays. We'll check here. Um, my microphone's picking me up chewing, so I'm just gonna mute it for a couple minutes here. Well, I went talked something along the lines about how yeah, I used to party poker was great, full tilt was great, poker stars was a good run out. Um, and then this hand we were just kind of going over when they cold call there, like we three bet to 12 bigs and they just cold call. It's like tens and jacks, almost 100% for most of these fish because they won't get it in or ace king. So plan was basically to go bet bet shove anything but a heart. Unfortunately, the heart did come. They jammed into us. I don't know. I think it's relatively fine to fold there. It might not be great, but I guess we need to readjust the tables to here to six, and then eventually we'll get it up to four. He check raises, we're gonna call. And then basically anything he does here, we're just jamming. Great, we do end up getting it in here, so that's good. If we can hold and dodge a deuce, we'll be in good shape. Uh-oh. Woo! Scary one there. Okay, we'll go for the check raise, maybe check call, check raise turn. I think we'll just go for a check raise here on the flop, and then we'll barrel quite a few turns. Snap calls is interesting. I mean, the general rule of thumb is the opposite is true, right? So if they snap call, they're not strong, but A7 is 100% a raise there. That's a terrible fold. Fold 10-3 suited. Um, I don't really know what to do here, so I'm just gonna check. It's a weird spot. The snap call did freeze me, so theoretically that's the general goal of like a snap call. But I think it's gonna be difficult to fold. It would have had to been like barrel shove and hope he doesn't have a five kind of thing, which I think like long term is not gonna be super profitable. Okay, raise the queens, fold the 4-3. We're gonna three bet the ace-6 suited, and we're gonna three bet the fives. King ball, pretty much just 100% range bet for the most part here on the king three deuce. Jackie calls. Man, I don't know about that river fold. With Jackie being 86 VPIP, like they just have so many hands in their range. It's gonna be difficult to justify. It's gonna be difficult to justify that top set fold in review. And the Jack 10 suited will fold. We'll fold Jack 3 as well. And the A7 off will bump up. We did start a Discord. I haven't really got around to like really editing it out, editing it too much. But that's definitely on the hit list. I think it just kind of brings the community together a little bit, kind of helps grow the stream, um, and go from there. Okay, fold the Jack 8 off. Okay, the 7 deuce, we're gonna fold there, and we'll fold the 5-4 as well. And we'll bump the king jack suited. I guess I should double check this. Okay. And we do have the 8 tables up and running. We are on the 8 table stream settings. The way we go. Okay. It's so funny. It always seems like either Twitch, like if we're Twitch is like 4 or 5 viewers, YouTube's been dead lately, but things are starting to pick up a little bit for the stream. I wonder if there's any tourneys to jump late into. Let's see. I actually meant to join the. I'm gonna check the ace, but we're really not folding here. He just snap checks back. Now we're just gonna value bet. Slug 3 bets us. We are gonna defend the ace queen because the 3 bet's so small, but like realistically, you can just like fold there. Fold the ace queen. Ooh, that's a bad fold. Um, okay, let me just check tables here. We got 8 up. They all realistically look. They all look pretty good, so we'll just get rid of this one. 9 tables just doesn't fit the stream very well. It shrinks the tables too much, and nobody can really see what's going on. Okay, so he defends. We're gonna go for the check raise here. He just snap checks back, and we'll just pull out a classic overbet. Could jump into this mini Friday night 25. Sure, let's do that. See if we can run something up here. Uh, I guess I'll just keep it off stream, maybe. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it off stream, and then if we actually turn it into something, we can pull the table in. Because most likely scenario like this rate is we're just gonna go like busto. Okay. And I think we just value bet ourselves. Donk lead here. Could go a little bit smaller, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just get the money in. Perfect. Jack 9, Jack 10, Queen Jack. Or we just run into a straight again. That's cool. Okay. Okay, 9 or a 10 for the boat would be nice. 6, 7, 9, 10. I don't know how many how many 86, 75, 95 V pips we've run into straights with tonight. But it's definitely been a non-insignificant number, I would say. Fold the 9 deuce. Fold the 4-3 off. Um, Ace King. So bet call squeeze. We're gonna go 26.5. Call a jam from Lesby. He always seems tight, but he definitely 3 bets like a decent amount. Right. All right, so we have shoved here in the $25 six max bounty. We late regged. And the kings we're going to 4-bet. We do take it down with just the shove, so pretty good scenario. We are probably running it into it here with the ace king, but we can't fold now. Ace jack. Interesting. He just wants to run it once. Okay. A lot of chop potential here for villain. Bang. Not anymore. So he needs an ace or a 3 for the chop. And we're going to value bet river. Nice. And we boat up with kings over 3s. Good win with the ace 4, and we do shove the 9s. Bump the queen eight suited, fold the jack eight here, fold the jack eight here. That was a kind of a crazy shove with the ace jack suited, but I mean, we can definitely be doing that light at least a decent portion of the time, so it could probably fine. But Lespi's stats are always super weird because they're always like super nitty, like PFR and VPIP, but then his like three bet ends up being like 20% sometimes. Um, it's just a very like awkward stats. And we'll fold the seven deuce. And to Jackie here. So I really regret folding top set, I think. Even to the four flush, I regret it. Jackie's just playing like a gajillion hands here, so and again, against a villain who's playing that many hands, like 93% VPIP, pretty happy to show down queen high. Like realistically, if you can check down against their range, you're gonna win enough of the time for it to just be profitable showing down. And you don't have to risk like bluffing the random portions of times they actually turn up with a hand. Should probably check in on the should probably check in on the Jays versus Dodgers game. Pretty sure it's on tonight, right? Okay, we're gonna see bet the king 10 suited, and we're gonna see bet the ace jack on the 8-8 king, and I'm just gonna check the king 9. Um, where else? Okay, king 9 off. We can bump up here. A little bit loosey goosey, but with a couple fish there in the big blinds, definitely worth it. And we're gonna be check calling the king 9 here against Jackie, who checks down. We'll go for the overbet. Okay, fold the 8-7 suited. Fold the 6-5, fold the queen 6. Game 1, October 24th. Yeah, so it is tonight then. That's what I thought. And we're gonna three bet the sixes. We're gonna call the sixes. Should probably three bet actually. Fold the ace eight. Check here. Right here then. Okay, well, tons of nuts is on the stream, so we're gonna roll this bad boy over here. Okay, open under the gun. We called. Flop come 10-5 queen. Multi-way here with sixes. We're just gonna get it out of the way. Definitely not gonna be folding this one. He checks back flop. Queen is significantly less likely after the check back. So we're gonna go for a little bit of value here with the king 10. Fold jack 3. So diamonds roll off, and we're gonna value bet again. Most likely holding is like eights, nines, sevens, like 5-6, stuff like that. Um, some queen X, but unlikely. And then just some busted hands that are like ace highs that are gonna call the turn barrel there as well once they check back flop. Careful raise here. King, 60s off, pocket twos. You know what? I think since we have somebody watching the stream on this table, that could probably make it a little bit more interesting. So we'll bump it in here. Okay, we're gonna raise the queens, fold the 6-4, queen 6, flop trips. We're just gonna bet here. Honestly, the most value from this hand is gonna be coming from the times villain has a flush draw or a 9. So we honestly just want to attack that like relentlessly and blast into him. Not a great run out for us. Probably just have to fold queens. And because our stack sizes are so deep, we just want to get some money into this pot. So he bets pretty small. But yeah, we're blasting here. Fold the 9. Oop, that was annoying. And the 8-4. Okay, he does call, which is good, obviously. Unlikely he's gonna call like king 10. There's no flush draws or anything in that range of his. And we're gonna 3-4 bet this kings. And here he limps in. We're just literally just gonna open um, half his stack and then just jam flops essentially. Fold the ace four, three bet the queen jack off, three bet the ace king, fold here. Pocket eights here, eh? Six-handed, 23.5 bigs. I think we just jam. Okay, flop top two here. So Meg Allen three bets, we four bet, he calls. He pots 50, we call. I think we just have to call off here. Obviously, we lose to some sets and stuff like that. Um, what a gross river. We just get fucking four outed again from the net. I think he did. I'm gonna jam kings here when he checks, and I'm gonna fold the king 10, unfortunately. Just a gross river card. Queen 10s and jack queens were already there, but we can't fold there. We're going to fold here. He could be trapping us some portion of the time with like aces or pocket eights, that kind of stuff. Three, four, five. You need like six, seven here, but yeah, I think kings we just need to jam. He has too many like tens, jacks, and queens in this position that we can't do anything but just like get the money in. I think for value, of course. Obviously, there's some like value hands that he beats of ours, but definitely worth a shove there. Which is good. It kind of gets us out of that hole that we just dug on this previous hand over here. Okay, we're gonna raise up the king eight suited. Okay, jack 10 suited. We're gonna bump it up. And we'll go for a check shove with the king eight. He checks back. Uh, this is a spot where we overbet a ton. I'm just gonna overbet here. We do lose to queen X like a very small portion of the time. But generally, if we check and a villain who's playing like 64 VPIP, I would even expect him to bet a nine there, to be honest. Is just going to bet when check to, probably significantly too often. Okay, and check the king nine. Oh man, I went busto. I didn't even notice. That's so funny. What was it? The eights hand called with jacks and flop quads. Okay, I was wondering why the tournament wasn't popping up too much. Okay. Ah, we'll show down the nine ball. We're just gonna lose to like, yeah, exactly. Terrible call. Free flop, obviously. Okay, yay. We've had a few good runs, but we haven't been. Deck's been a little cold tonight, folks. Just been a little bit. Gonna double barrel on the king queen here. Meg Allen leads out really small on this board, which I guess it's kind of standard bet sizing. I guess we'll just call the jack ball. They're never gonna bet now, so we're gonna lead this. Like unless they have king jack or jack X, they're never betting here. The reason's relatively simple. They're just going to look for showdown now that there's a four to the straight out there, and we are going to fold to that jam. He overbet jams there. It's going to be like Jack X with two hearts, or it's going to be King Jack. There's almost no other hand that's going to like shove there. So even though we have the straight, we're just going to fold, get out of the way. Meg Allen's just too much, like too nitty of a villain to like be pulling those bluffs off in those spots, I think, too often. So I think we can pretty comfortably just like fold and move on to the next hand. No nuts, no glory says I had ace jack off on that hand. That'd be the king 10 hand, I would imagine, where we value bet a bit. We're out of the tournament. I didn't have it on the stream. It didn't even show up. But we busted with pocket eights and basically just ran into pocket jacks. And that was all she wrote. Fold the queen jack off, jack five full, jack five full, king seven suited raise. Okay, and this is the board. We can just bet this board because villains aren't like properly defending a lot of their ranges. There's tons of scenarios where you just need to like bet and you're gonna win. Bet and overbet turn is an extremely profitable line because villains are gonna be kind of overfolding, and you kind of like the whole point of the overbet on the turn is kind of to make their like second pairs indifferent. So you want them to just be like folding them. It's not worth it for them to call. Um, and that'll in turn be extremely profitable for us. So bit of a weird line here from this villain. I'm gonna call. Don't like the heart. Plan on the turn is to call any river that's not a diamond or a heart. So we'll just see how villain plays this. Okay, fold the 6-3. Three betting the ace jack suited. Fold the king three. We do brick with the ace king. We are going to float in here. We do have some back doors. We do have two overcards. Uh, Half pot with just ace king, six outs. Maybe we just let that go. And the king three off. We're going to check. Interesting. We probably just get out of the way now. It's too many made hands there. Not enough bluffs. And we'll fold the 8-5 off. I'm curious how this session's going. I feel like we're probably even. We've had some big hands. We've had a lot of big losses and stuff as well. So let's pull that up here in a second. Fold the king 8. We're 3-bet the king 7 suited. But yeah, we've had quite a few big wins. I don't know how much we've lost. I feel like we've had quite a few big losses, but I could definitely be wrong to some extent. But we'll see. It's good for the stream anyways. People like to see what the scoop is. So I feel like we have not been doing great. I feel like we're probably like even, maybe down a little bit, even. So we see bet here, which is any calls. It's not a whole ton of hands that we're beating that he calls. Some ace X, sometimes like queen's 10, some like ace queen that just got there, some flush draws that now have gotten there. Uh, Queen 10 has gotten there, 9 10's gotten there. We beat those hands. They check back though, so nice. Yeah. Ace 10's fine. Yeah, like Queen 10, Ace 10, those types of hands are going to check back river when the 10 hits. Um, so yeah, I think we have a clear check fold in that specific scenario. And obviously over here in the top right, can't see the hand. I'll just bring it over. We went donk lead, and now we're just value betting river when the spade rolls off for us. And he does call. Villain calls with jack of spades, so we get to take that down. Fold 10-5 suited. And we're just going to lead here with the deuces, or not lead, but we're going to bluff with the deuces. I imagine he is folding. Very few villains would ever check an 8 there in that scenario. Okay, we're going to bet here with the gut shot. And we're going to bet here with the gut shot. And we're going to check here with third pair. Overbet the deuce. It is a brick to the board. We ISO erased him. He called. So he called flop, which is interesting. We're going to barrel on the queen. Gonna check here to Jackie. There's pretty much nowhere else she folds Jack or an ace here to us on the turn, so I'm just gonna let that go. Funmock limp called the barrel on the flop. Very strange. I'm gonna check here, and I'm gonna fold. I'm gonna fold to that. I fold here. We'll three bet Sammy bluffs with the 8-5 suited, and against Meg Allen, we're just gonna four bet here with Queen Jack suited and fold to a shove. The hand just the hand just plays so much easier four betting it. Uh, and when villain calls, we have tons of there's tons of opportunity with like a hand like King Jack suited, Queen Jack suited, where you flop like a flush draw, a straight draw, backdoor flush draw with a gut shot, stuff like that, and an overcard where you have tons of equity, you can just pour like jam on, uh, and it's going to be super profitable like long term versus like calling and then just like check folding tons of flops. A little bit more higher variance, but definitely way more profitable. Okay, we're going to defend the sixes, and I am going to call down with the jack against this villain. Great runner again. Well, we're not beating the 70 VPIPs, but we're beating the rest of the field, I think. But we are we are running into uh, a lot of runners for the VPIPers. We'll fold the 10-4, and we'll fold the king 6 off. So fun mock like min bets flop. And we're gonna three bet the jacks here. If he four bets, I probably just fold, honestly. Sixes we just call. Pretty much no bad card for us. Maybe an ace, maybe a queen. Uh, okay. He doesn't four bet, so we're just gonna bet big here for value. We're just targeting like sevens, eights, nines, tens, that kind of stuff where villains are gonna overcall. King's not super great, but we are just gonna block bet now. And we're going to three bet the ace queen off against Moist Goat. Basically, we're block betting here with this. One, we don't expect villain to bluff here anywhere near, like, ever. Uh, Sort of the issue is when he does raise here, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Our block bet is weak. Like, would you really ever raise a king? There's not going to be like, you're not going to have like a three almost ever. There's not really anything to be worried about. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. Ace King doesn't really do this. Kings don't really do this. Hmm. That's an interesting one. Obviously, the idea here would be to call and then call river as well. Hmm. I feel like calling down is probably the best play here. I'm not really sure though, to be honest. I am going to jam queens here, even with the flush draw coming in. There's just too many other hands in his range. Oh, I don't know. I don't really know here. My block bet definitely said I don't have king X, right? Like if I have ace king, I just bet big there and shove river. So my hand is not a king. So the next question becomes, do we think villain's capable of like bluffing there? Oh, we were so right. We're so stupid. The issue with not trusting your gut in those scenarios is that because it didn't make any sense. Ace king doesn't do that. Like he's basically saying he has ace three suited or pocket fours. So probably should have just went with our gut there, maybe. But you can't be deterred too much either when the villain shows the bluff because the reality is like 95% of this pool just is going to have ace three or pocket fours there for whatever reason. But I don't know. I kind of wanted to call, so I'm not a super fan of like not calling. Okay. Three bet the ace seven suited. Three bet the. Oh man, I should have called that. I actually don't like that I folded that. It's kind of just being a bit of a nit. I really feel like I should have been calling there. I wanted to call. It's kind of the one thing that does tilt me is a lot is when like I know that I should fold and I call, or I know that I should call and I fold. But whatever, it is what it is. I think overfolding is definitely going to be a more profitable play um, against the majority of villains in these scenarios. And we would have had an easy call on the river too. Or sorry, that was a different. Oop, a little bit of a misclick with the fives there. Or check fold here, but yeah. Definitely. I mean, ace nine should have just mucked pre-flop, obviously. But I appreciate everybody who is checking out the stream um, on Twitch, on YouTube. We really do appreciate all of the support. Fold the queen five, fold the jack four, fold the nine three. You do actually call queens here some portion of the time. I am just going to three bet this villain. Okay, so we did want to check this out. So, wow. Okay, we're up actually significantly more than I thought we were um, this session. So we're up 300 so far. So pretty good, I'd say. A lot better than I thought we were actually doing, but um, not going to complain about it. That's for damn sure. 5-3. The overbet jam, it is what it is. If you run into aces here, do not three bet jacks from button versus mid. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know. I can't fold queens to a shove. It is what it is. Jacks. Nice hand. He almost got me. Fold the choice. But it is, yeah, we didn't three bet. It's not three bet jacks from button versus MP open, but four bet jammed him under the gun versus big blind. Bang. Beautiful. Okay. Nice little stack ad there. So far, apparently, without knowing it, we're up 7 buy-ins today at NL50, and maybe not quite that much actually at NL50 because I think we won a bit at NL100. I'm not sure on the exact amount, but there was definitely a portion won at NL50. Tenshi 21 definitely likes to call. I think like he likes to call three bets, but it feels like he's overcalling three bets. But I think his like opening ranges, his attempt to steal is actually significantly low, which means his like opening range is very tight, which means it's going to feel like he's opening or calling more three bets. So we kind of need to be at least a little bit aware of that. And Gangster just jams here. I don't think we can fold ace queen in that spot. We are flipping. Oops. Meant to run it twice there. Missed the. Oh, bro, get out of town. 10 ball. Missed the run it twice and forward dead. That sucks. And the queen comes. No way. Um, Meant to run it twice there. Unfortunately, we missed it. Okay. Fold king seven off. Fold king six off. Three bet the king three suited. Fold the 10-5. Fold here. Bump the queens. Uh, so this is one of those spots. Look at this guy. 222 hands and his three bet percent is zero. I don't think I can bring myself to fold the queens though. We just set mine. Fold to anything. Okay. Nope. Goodbye. Pocket tens or like kings or aces with a diamond. Those are the only two hands he has. Here, we're gonna bump the jack nine off. Okay, we'll bump the six or the jack nine off. Okay, fold here, fold, fold, fold. And we get an inverse a6 offsuit, so great spot. Happily run it twice if that's what he wants to do. Okay, we'll bump the queen 10 off first the limper. We do hold here, but table is died, so we're gonna kill that one off. We'll move the one over that you can't see, and we'll get another one open. Seriously. Okay. I think we're gonna have to end the stream here. Appreciate everybody who was checking it out.